Perfect. Can you guys see my screen? You have a thumbs up?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. So welcome to Together We Rise, our weekly Wednesday Rise Up for this week. I'm like kind of like winging this because I don't really know how to work this thing because you can see this like little timer thing here, but we'll just hit play and allow it to do its thing. So Together We Rise is a global community here to connect, share, and empower each other on a journey of well-being, mind, body, and soul. And our intention is to raise a collective frequency through education, inspiration, and community, creating a ripple effect throughout our individual communities. And that is in unison with the Start Your Life movement. Our vision is to ignite all people to own their life physically and financially, and through our contributions, create freedom and a lasting legacy. And our core values here within this community are in alignment with Isagenix's as well. And they are health, empowerment, integrity, community, innovation, and ease. And through all of this, we're creating this beautiful experience called life. And we're super excited and grateful that you're all here tonight. So I'm going to stop my sharing here on my screen. And then we will get into this topic. So Hugh here has heard about cord cutting before. Like either put it in the chat box or you can just put your hand up if you've heard of it. Nobody. Oh, one person. Let me check the chat box 1 second. Ali has. Awesome. Okay. So this is going to be a cool topic. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can kind of relate to a lot of the things that we talk about tonight, but maybe you just don't know what it's called, or it's going to be a new tool that you can put in your toolbox to be able to do that. And on Together We Rise, we kind of talk about our toolbox and how we're filling all of this like toolbox with all of these tools and resources that we're able to use on a daily basis so that we can really like help with both our physical health, our mental health, our emotional health, and also our spiritual and energetic health. And today is a lot about our energetic body. And so cord cutting is a very common practice in both spiritual and secular traditions. And secular traditions just mean like the Buddhist Western culture practices. So this is something that they've been doing for literally like a long time. And the whole purpose of cord cutting is to help recover energy that has been lost and to help you reestablish healthy energetic boundaries. Oh, I'm just gonna read this comment. That's okay, Brooke. If you have to leave, then you can just hit like end and then you'll just pop kind of out of the meeting. And so we often go through life, right? Like we go through life and a lot of the time we think that we're like accumulating things, like we're usually accumulating like material things, or we're accumulating friendships, we're accumulating all of these things. But the whole secret to all of it is we only have a certain amount of energy to be able to hold at one time. So in order to bring in the new, we must release the old. And that's what cord cutting does. It really helps us to release some of the old so that we can create this void so that we can start bringing in some of the new. And all of us are connected energetically. If you guys want to like, do you guys believe in a higher power? Do you believe in a God, in the universe? Do you want to just like put it in the comments what it is, like your belief system? If you don't really have a belief system as to a higher power, like do you just believe like everything happens for a reason, or like what is that belief system around that? And it's like totally open, like there's no right or wrong to any of this. So there's no judgment from any of it. So a God, yeah, I know it's common for like the universe or source. There's all different names. But the whole basis is that we were created and we were put on this planet to fulfill our missions and just really be here to bring light to our, like the world. Yeah, it's a lot of people finding themselves calling it God. Awesome. And
Laura,
yeah.
Okay, this is really weird.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so on Instagram, can we attract dark energies? Like, okay, on Instagram tonight, like 1 hour ago, I got a message from total random woman stranger saying that she's a sugar mama and she'd like me to be her sugar baby and pay all my bills.
You're like, woo, sign me up.
Yeah, well, can we get out the chainsaw? Like, what is happening there? Because I know you're all about energy. I'd love my bills to be paid. Really, I would, but not that way.
It's the universe testing you. It's like, How much do you want the money? How much do you want it?
So what is this? Just a random, is that just a random? Okay. Cause I wanted to, sorry, but I just, cause Laura's all about energy here.
Yeah.
Is that just a dark energy tapping in? Like, what am I putting out on Instagram? I'm pure here. I'm really pure.
Yeah, honestly, like it's funny because I've got so many like the sugar baby things. And it's like, I used to be like, man, these people are like whatever, but it's like, honestly, I have no judgment toward any of it now. And if they have people that are willing to do that and get paid, I'm like, if somebody wants to do that and get paid, good on them. Who cares, right? Like that's like your thing. It's like, it's at one of those, like, basically like when we ask for things, the universe is always going to bring us what we ask for. And it's up to us within our values and with what our belief system is to say yes or no. Right. And like, I honestly, I don't put judgment on any of it. I'm like, there are a lot of people who are in like older and they're just lonely and they literally like do this and they just want people for company. Like maybe they want more than that, but it's like, if they're wanting that, then have at it. There's going to be other people that are looking for that as well. And it's just up to us to say like, no, thank you. Like, this isn't for me. Thank you. Good luck on your search.
I appreciate that because I was taking it in quite a different way. So on a go forward, I'll embrace it that way because I thought it was a dark, because, you know, I've leveled up my journey a lot lately. Like it's going through the roof right now. And I thought, I thought, what am I putting out there? Am I putting out negative, like that I'm attracting that? But I shall, now that you've done it that way, presented it that way to me, I'll take it as a compliment because she's much younger and she was very good looking. So I'll take
Yeah.
it as a compliment. So thank you for that
You're
reframe.
like, I'll be your sugar baby. Yeah, that's my interpretation of it, right? There's no right or wrong. Like Jen might have something else to say, but it's just kind of like, that's my perception of it. I'm just here free floating through my life. And it's like, whatever opportunities comes in, it's up to me to say yes or no to it. It's not up to me to judge what's right or what's wrong, because that's all based on our own belief system and our own experiences. Right. So if somebody grows up and that's like their lifestyle that they see, then that's what they see as normal. And as long as they're not hurting anyone, then like, who cares? Right. So like for me, that's just my perspective. I don't really judge anybody. I'm just like, have at her, but it's not for me. Thank you. You know? Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. So cord cutting. So all of us are connected, right? Like even if you think back to like when you were born, we all get connected through our umbilical cord. That belly button in the middle of your stomach, you might have forgot, used to connect you to your mother, right? Like how crazy is it that there's like literally this lineage of connection all throughout humanity, yet we forget it. And there's all of these different energetic cords that are all tying us all together. It's the oneness of the world. Right. So remembering that, a lot of the time we forget about all this, like all the energetic stuff because it's woo or this, it's just because we haven't focused on it or we haven't thought about it. But when you actually start focusing on it and you start like doing more research and all of these things, like it all starts to make sense. Right. So understanding that we're all connected. And when it comes to that connection, basically like when we think about the people that we spend the most time with, we think about our friends, our close friends, our family members, maybe your intimate partner, your coworkers, even people that you're meeting, just having random connections with. There's always an energetic cord between you. And the people that we are with in contact with more often, those cords are going to get stronger. And that's why you have like your really close circle where you feel really connected to and you think about them often, right? You think about them all the time and they're just like, you like send them a voice note, you're like, hey, I was just thinking about you, you know? It's like, that's that connection and it's all from energetic cords. So these cords are not necessarily bad, right? They fuel us. So it's a give or take with energy. And this is where it comes into play with even your friendships. Are your friendships a mutual give and take? Or are you always giving? Or are you always receiving? Right? So there's always has to be this exchange of energy of give and take between people. Same thing with your family, your intimate partners, your coworkers. And where cord cutting can come in really good handy is when, say, you have relationships end and maybe they don't end very well. Or maybe this person is like, it's just like they're always on your mind and you can't seem to get them out of your mind. And it's just like bothering you. Like you can't even focus on what you want to focus on anymore because this person is just like stuck in your head. Just gonna check the chat. Oh, Brooke's just leaving. So yeah, so it can be like for absolutely anything. And like I said, they're not always bad, right? Like the good connections with those close people. When we do cord cutting, we can cut cords of people that are no longer serving us and remove them from our life. We can also cut cords just as like a cleansing. So like you can do it every so often to just kind of cleanse that energy. And a lot of the time, like if you notice that like when you might have these energetic cords that are draining you, you might feel like your energy levels are depleted. You might be feeling like kind of down, you know, like feeling stuck, unable to make like a decision. You could be like obsessive thoughts, like I said, about that person, speaking often about that person, maybe in a like a judgmental or depreciating way that's not quite serving them. And just on a note of that, even when we're speaking badly about other people behind their back, it still energetically affects them, right? So be very conscious about what you're doing and don't talk badly behind people's backs. And this is one of those things where we're so ingrained in this society that is so used to doing that, but it's up to us to be able to start calling people out on it and just not taking part in it. And when we say are with like friends who are doing that, like we can just gently say like, hey, like I don't really want to talk about this because I know that they're not really here. And then like you can just gently say it or just step out or do it, and it's going to be uncomfortable saying it, but leadership is not comfortable, and you have to learn how to step into that role. So there might be times as you're going through like this whole journey, right, where you hear it, you're there in the environment, you hear it happening, you think about, oh, you don't really like how they're talking about this person, but you maybe don't say anything, right? Because you're too shy to stand up. And then you'll allow it to happen. And then next time you'll be like, okay, next time I'm just going to say something. And then maybe next time you won't either. And then the next time maybe you just like won't really take part in it. You just won't talk at all. Like you're just going to like not engage in it, but you're just going to kind of listen. And then eventually like you'll slowly start building up the confidence to just like slowly just start like bringing it up to other people and like, hey, like I don't really want to engage in that, or just try to change the topic or the subject or whatever, because energetically it affects people when we talk badly behind their back. And we do not want that, because literally everybody is here and they're a product of their environment, regardless how horrible they were to you. People only hurt people when they're hurt. That's the only time people hurt people, right? People that are acting out of love for themselves and for others, they don't hurt people. So for us to act badly or hurt other people because they're hurting us, it's never going to add up, right? So, and it's never going to be perfect, but continue working toward that aspect of love, because the more that we come out of that place of love, the more it's going to be better for ourselves energetically. We're going to feel better about ourselves. The more other people are going to feel better about themselves, the more the whole collective is going to start feeling better about themselves. And the cool thing is people learn through experience. Like as we choose to step up, we are teaching without having to actually teach. We are teaching other people how to be a better human being as well. So all of you guys being on here, you guys are all obviously people who love growth. You love becoming that better version of yourself. You want to do good in the world. And it's like you just being you is teaching the world so much. So you don't have to go out and like actually try to teach people this stuff. You just have to act and do it for yourself. And then people are going to start picking up on what you're putting down. I tell you, I've learned so much from like the network that I've had over the last couple of years, and they don't even know that they taught me. I literally picked up so much that I know just from hearing how other people talk, the verbiage that they use, just their actions in which they do stuff. That's how we learn. And so like the more like observant you can be in your environment to either like things that you're not quite liking so that you no longer do them, or the things you are liking and you want to start doing more of that, then that's how you're going to be able to learn and grow. So a little tangent about like speaking behind other people's backs. So if you're feeling like you've got a lower immune system, like you're getting sick very often, you're finding you have some like unhealthy or addictive behaviors, you're like wanting comfort in like smoking or binge eating or drinking drugs, anything to really coping mechanisms. It could be because your energy is just depleted. So in order to get that kind of energy back, one of the things is that we can do is cord cutting, which we'll go through a few 4 different ways in which we can kind of cut cords and re-energize our energetic bodies. And when we think about cord cutting, it doesn't necessarily just have to be for people, which is really cool because you see this little baby right here? These things have the craziest energetic cords. And the more spiritual you become, the more sensitive you become to energy, the more you're going to start realizing it. And I tell you, like, it is insane what Instagram does. It's insane what Facebook does. It's insane what they do with their techniques of understanding how the mind works and how energy works to keep us attached to this thing. It's literally crazy. So I literally encourage people, if you don't have a day out of your week where you like turn off your phone, or even in the evenings or the mornings, have some time in your day where you just turn it off and you just leave it in a different room. Like, on a show of hands, who here has been like without their phone, like in the same room with them? Like, do you like bring it with you everywhere? Okay, wait, put your hand up if you bring it with you everywhere. Right? Yeah, so do I. And it's like, it literally just practice it. Like, I literally, when I'm working now, I just like, I'll leave my phone upstairs, or I'll just leave it other places, because a lot of the time, like, you ever notice like you're just opening up Instagram and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like, it's like I'm on here again, but like, I don't even know why I'm on here, right? It's like this energetic pull to it. And so when we do this cord cutting, you can actually do the cord cutting with your phone. Okay. Another thing that you can do cord cutting with is food. Who here has like I feel like I need to do a cord cutting with almond butter and honey. Like, legit, I'm like obsessed with that, and it's getting out of control. Like, I can't keep it in stock in my house, and I go to Costco and stock up. Right? And so this is important if you're, say, trying to shift your lifestyle around, right? We always talk about like nutrition and about like the physical body and basically our physical health, right? But this goes with it as well. So you can also use this for different foods that maybe you are feeling addicted to, or that you want to get rid of that habit of going to those foods. You can do this with. Yeah, go for it, Carolyn.
Okay, so I'm really listening to this food portion of it because I've never actually entertained that before. New territory for me. I've had a different mindset on that. So it's not going to, I cord cut tonight, let's say chips, and I cord cut and magic. You tell me magic, or it might take some time.
It's up to you. You get to choose. Do you want it to be gone tomorrow, or do you want it to take time?
You're so good. Answer my question. Thank you.
Yeah, it's literally, it's that easy. It truly is. But you'll see when we go through the visualization, basically, like with cord cutting, if you close your eyes right now and you picture a person in your life, and you picture like a tube going from your belly button to their belly button, and you imagine energy flowing between that tube, does it feel like it's more toward them or toward you, or is it a balance? You can just open up your eyes and then put in the comments whether it was the energy was toward them, toward you, or a balance. Yeah, Cass, I need to cut the chocolate chip cookies too. I was actually just talking about the smile cookies from Tim Hortons, and I'm like, I hope the smile cookies come back. They're so much cuter with smiley faces.
Yes, and they taste so much better.
I know. Toward them, toward them, toward them. Wow, yeah.
I'm donating. It's for a good cause.
Toward them. And the big thing is because we're givers, I know all of us are givers, right? But do we necessarily like receiving? We might think we do, but that's usually where people that are helpers and people that are nurturers and people that like doing things for others, it's usually that's the case. right? So you're going to have to cut those cords from those people. So you're conserving that energy now. And you'll notice like sometimes it will be the opposite way, and it's okay. Like there's no right or wrong to it. It's just understanding our energetic body and then checking in with ourselves where those cords are. So just to keep going on the aside from food, you can also do this with other addictions like drugs and alcohol. So you can do that as well, and it's used in different therapy techniques for that as well. So it's really cool. So for that, yeah, go for it, Carolyn.
Okay, so do I have to close my eyes or can I actually get a picture of a person?
You can do either.
Is it the same effect?
Yeah, you can get a picture of the person if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, even if you like, what I personally love doing is I'll look at the picture of the person, because when we close our eyes, it takes away a lot of the stimulus, right? So look at the picture of the person if you have one, and then close your eyes and then do it. And then that way it'll help you to be able to stay in that inner world, to be able to actually do the visualization and stuff. That's an awesome question, Carolyn. So yeah, so there's no right or wrong with where these energetic is going, there or back, right? Because sometimes if I'm feeling down and I am just calling Carolyn, I'm like, Carolyn, like, do you have some space to hold for me? Like, I just really I need a friend right now. And Carolyn's like, yeah, I'm in good energy right now. And Carolyn, like, she's going to be giving me energy and I'm going to be receiving, right? It's okay to receive. And that's okay, right? And then when Carolyn's down and she calls me and I'm in good space and I'm able to give that energy to her. So there's no right or wrong with which way this energy is going. Our only job is to understand how to protect our own energy and how to understand when our own energy is either feeling too much or not enough, right? We want to kind of maintain that balance, which it takes practice, right? There's never going to be we're never going to be sitting in this perfect balanced state of energy, because everything is always shifting. Everything is always changing, right? Does anybody have any questions so far? No? Cool. Awesome. Okay. So, so different ways that we can cut cords. So you can do like salt baths. So like Epsom salt baths, if you've heard salt baths, just because it actually cleanses your energetic body and it restores balance, right? So it won't be like the visualization of direct cord cutting like we're going to do, but it is a way of cleansing your aura and being able to protect your energy. And like when you're in the bath too, like even just like closing your eyes and just like saying like little things like when you're making your bath and like putting your Epsom salts in, and like I bring crystals in the bath with me too. Like you can literally put your crystals right in the water when you're doing it. Yeah, so like have a bath with your crystals. Make sure it's not like selenite, because it probably will dissolve. but like most of them you can put right in the bath water with you, and crystals hold such high frequencies, especially if you're putting it out for like to be charged by the moon. The screens on our phones and a lot of these things are actually made from crystals because they hold energy. And most people don't know that. They're like, crystals are woo woo. You're like, yeah, but it's like on literally all your electronics because it holds energy, which is like really cool. So yeah, so with the baths, it will help you to cleanse your aura. That's why when you have a bath, like you literally feel so rejuvenated afterwards, because of, especially with the salt in it, it helps with the negative ions in there. Another thing you can do is sage, so smudging. So who here has like heard of like Palo Santos or sage? Yes. Awesome.
Yes.
Yes, so good. Amazing. Yeah. So for those of you who haven't, so this is Palo Santos, and it's just like a piece of wood. It's just a piece of wood, but this is actually from Colombia. I brought it back with me. And then there's sage, and you can just get these, like if you're ever just like wanting to know where to get this stuff, I usually just Google like a crystal store in the area, and like the crystal stores have. So this is a bundle of sage. See, like I burnt it already. Kind of looks like a big cigar. And then you can also get sage kind of like more like loose, like that. And you just burn it. So what you can do is crack open a door or window, and make sure that it cracks it open, because that way it's going to, with the pressure difference, as soon as you crack open a door or window, it's going to change the pressure difference from the inside of the house to the outside of the house, and it's going to pull the energy out. Okay. And the big thing is with that is it's cleansing the area. So you can cleanse your home. You can literally go through your whole entire house and cleanse it. You can do your body, like before your meditations, like you can go through your chakras and sage your chakras. You can do the palms of your hands and the bottoms of your feet, because those are your energy portals on the palms of your hands, the bottom of your feet, and then through your chakra system. You can do cleansing that way. And scientists have actually said like sage can help clear up to 94% of airborne bacteria and disinfect the air, which is super cool. And it also releases negative ions, which is linked to putting people in a more positive mood. So it's actually like proven by science too, which is cool. So yeah, so you can kind of get that anywhere. Let me see the comments. I've learned to call is smoke cleansing. I got attacked online about the term smudging being indigenous. Learning every day. Cool. Yeah. So you can call it smoke cleansing, smudging, Palo Santosing, you're saging, whatever you want. Yeah. So that's another way that you can do it. Journaling is an incredible way that you can do cord cutting. Okay. And the way of doing this is basically like write a letter. So write a letter to the person, write a letter to basically like a breakup letter, right? It's like, sorry, I'm breaking up with you. Thank you for everything you've done for me, right? But this isn't like a bash them letter. Like it's always coming from love. Like you can speak truthfully and honestly about how you feel. You never have to filter that. Like if you hurt, if you're angry, if you're all of these things about how you're feeling, how they made you feel, all of this stuff, write it all down. And then the biggest things, Ho'oponopono, which if you haven't heard about, maybe we can do this on another Together We Rise, is a clearing technique so that you can basically stop all of these emotions from basically implanting and embedding into your nervous system. And it's just repeating 4 words. Okay. So thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And I love you. So you can write those down. Thank you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. Anything with these 4 words are really powerful. So when you're doing your journaling, thank you so much for the lessons that you taught me. Please forgive me for thinking badly or for how I'm feeling or whatever you want to forgive yourself for. Forgive me for holding on to this for so long. Whatever it is that you want to do forgiveness on. I'm sorry. And I love you. So those are the 4 things. And as you go through this, you can do that in your letter and just write it out, and you're blessing and releasing them, right? Remembering that either other people or whatever it is, this object, whether it's food, whether it's an addiction, whether it's another person, it's like our bodies are always working for us. So there was some sort of need at some point that this was filling. It was filling a need for us at some point. And it's just about understanding that it's no longer serving us and we're ready to let it go. And we're blessing and we're releasing and we're wishing the best for that person. We're not wishing any harm on them. We're wishing them the best on their journey. We're blessing, like say, like if it's you're cutting like a food addiction, like thank you for everything that you've done for me, but I no longer need you, right? There's lots of different things that you can do. So using those 4 words is really powerful. And then what you can do with that letter is you can burn it. So you can have like a little ceremony and you can burn it. I have like this little mason jar and we were doing a ceremony once and I put like the piece of paper in there and it was ready to go. It would like went up in flames like crazy. I'm like, whoa, I must have been holding on to that for a long time. And it like set off the smoke alarm and I'm like, oh dear God. Like I've got like the towel out and I'm like trying to like do it. So don't do it above like a smoke alarm. Either do it outside if you can. If it's winter, then like go by like the like where there's like the fan in like the or in the kitchen maybe. or open up a window and do it by a window, probably the best options. But burning it is so therapeutic. Anything in our mind, seeing it fade away, going from something and fading into nothing will energetically in our minds remove it from us. So it's so powerful. And you'll see that in the visualization, what we do as well, is that we bring in the person or the object, and we're going to watch it fade away into the distance. So we're going to watch it go, it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then it'll fade away. So, and it creates like an amnesia in our mind. So it will literally allow our minds to release it. So when you're doing the burning with your letter too, it's the exact same thing. So it has that same effect. And the burning you can do with your limiting beliefs. You can do like a whole bunch of stuff with the burning stuff. But it's really amazing if you have, say, we could probably do another Together We Rise thing on forgiveness stuff as well. But if you have other people that you're wanting to release, doing up that letter and then burning it, it's really powerful. Does anybody have any questions about either like the salt baths, about smudging, or about journaling?
I just have a comment, Laura.
Yeah.
And maybe everybody that's on this group. I'm an OG in this group. I've been around for a while. I'm 57, and I've been around this stuff for, it's 20 years this year. And I thought I really knew this subject well, but tonight, in the short span of time that Laura has spoken, I just want to validate to you, Laura, I've learned like 10 new things. So I just want to say, always be open and willing to learn, because you're never going to know what nuggets you're going to get from the universe. And I got a lot of nuggets tonight. So thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome. And like, I don't know, like all of it, like this is just from my experience. So if any of you guys have anything that you want to add to this, like feel free to put it in the comments, feel free to unmute yourself and share. Like this is totally an open platform, because I know everybody in this group has so much knowledge.
I wanted to share something, Laura, with so you mentioned about the talking about other people, and one thing that I've actually been kind of obsessed over for a while is like a quote from Einstein. You know, he said, so Einstein said that the lowest form of communication is about people. And so the second form of communication, the midway ground, is about events. The highest form of communication is about ideas. So anytime you catch yourself talking about someone else, no matter how justified you think it is, it's the lowest form of communication. And then when you're halfway in the midway point, you're talking about an event, you can go either way. So you can say, oh, that concert was fun last year. But then if you start talking about somebody else, then you're going to descend into the low form. You can also, from events, like, oh, that concert was great. Remember, it inspired us, and you go up too. So just thought I'd share that. That's incredible. I love that so much. And it's so true. Yeah. Like literally talking about dreams and goals and aspirations and the things we want to do. It's just like, if we're always talking about the past, those people that are always talking about the past, it's just because they've got nothing really going on in the present or in their future that they're looking forward to. So they're always looking back at the past. Or there's people that are always talking about all the good times that happened in the past. It's just like reminiscing all the time. And it's like, you've heard that story a whole bunch of times, just because they don't have much going on in the present or the future. Because we only have a certain amount of capacity in here. So it's like, you can't be thinking about all three of them at once, you know? That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Jessie. So no more questions, or anybody else want to add anything before we hop into visualization?
I'm just going to add one more thing here, just for everybody. Anyways, it's again, years of experience. And I learned this a lot over the last couple of years, where they say, when there's something in somebody else that you don't like, usually it's something in yourself that you need to resolve. So I'll leave that with you. It took me a lot of years to figure that one out, but it certainly ties in with what Laura said tonight about don't talk about your neighbor. Why waste your energies there when you can, spend it on yourself? So love to you all. That's
amazing, Carolyn. And the thing is too, is like, when a lot of time when we're talking about other people, now you'll be more aware of it. Awareness is literally key. You're going to be aware of it now. And now you're going to have a tool to be able to use. Right. So you can come back to this recording and you can like literally redo this if you want. This recording will be in Together We Rise forever. It'll be on my YouTube channel. So you can go back to it at any point and you can do it, and you can do a cord cutting yourself. So then it's like, once you notice that you're doing it, because it's going to happen, we're human beings, and it's also a programmed thing. So it's going to take time to reprogram, to talk about the ideas, to talk about the visions, to talk about the dreams. It might be normal right now to be talking about other people and all of these things, but it's about catching yourself and doing forgiveness and having grace with yourself, having that awareness of it, and then shifting and pivoting. But you can do this cord cutting, use any of these techniques, cord cut, and then refocus on vision, refocus on where you're going, refocus on your own personal goals, and then really like just be present in the moment and enjoy everything that's around you. And it's just going to be a constant shuffle of doing this. And then over time, your brain is naturally going to be thinking about the more positive things. It's not even going to think about talking about other people anymore. And it's incredible, like when it starts happening. I actually went for a walk with Victoria today, to the dog park, and like I was sharing that with her. I'm like, it's so incredible, like how much we can grow and we can learn. And it's like, I used to dream of this life. I used to wish I had this life that I had right now. Is it anything really spectacular and like incredible? It could get a lot better, but it's like, I remember a couple of years ago, I just wanted to like be at peace with myself. I wanted to have good relationships around me. I wanted to just be able to enjoy my work. I wanted to be able to enjoy my life. I wanted to be more calm and relaxed. Like that was my dream. And it's like, now I've got that. So it's like literally like whatever it is that we want, and then showing gratitude once we have it, because we can always be wanting, but that's where it's like a fine balance between the present moment, where we're going, and then also doing healings from the past, because they're all connected. So it's just about knowing when and where to be at what times, which all just takes practice. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carolyn.
Ooh, I'd like to share something
Yeah, go for it, Victoria.
onto what you're saying. So I've had my fair share of betrayal, as probably a lot of us have in my life. And through doing all of this healing work, I like to call it cord dissolving. It's just another word. It's less dramatic. I know some people are like, I just want to like chainsaw that thing. And it's like, you do what you got to do. But I've found that from doing my cord dissolving with certain people in my life that are still around, that are either family members or, you know, people that you're kind of stuck with, right? It kind of helps take away that like anger piece, and it turns it more into this compassion. And I've just found that so helpful, like doing those. And yeah, so what we're about to do is amazing, and I think everyone in this group is going to find so much benefit out of it, because it helps not only help you get over trauma from things from your past, but people that you're currently dealing with like in your everyday. So just wanted to share.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Victoria. And yeah, it's, the way that we do it too, you'll see like you want to do like how we said, like the gradual fading off into the distance. You don't want anything to be like a harsh thing, because it will shock our energetic bodies, right? Like it will shock your energetic body, which then it will take time to be able to get through. So it's a really good point. Thank you for sharing that, Victoria. And yeah, it's so powerful. When it comes to attachments as well, even when it comes to like, say your spouse or those people that you're really close to, if you find that you're always relying on other people, or you're always needing people's validation, or you just have really strong attachments with people, it's good to do this too, because the whole thing is like with enlightenment is that you want to be like a free floating being and not have any attachments. So you're choosing which attachments you have with the good people and everything, but it's like you're free floating. You're not relying on somebody else to bring you fulfillment. They're amplifying, right? You're not relying on them to bring you anything. You're doing it yourself from your own inside, generating, because we have all of the capacity within ourselves to generate. We all have connection to the same source. So we all have it within us to be able to generate it ourselves. And then it's just about relying on other people, like, because it's community, it's tribe, right? But it's not relying on them to fuel us. It's a give and take all the time. Awesome. Okay. So what we'll do is, if you want to go somewhere comfortable where you can kind of just chill out, relax, close your eyes, somewhere where you feel safe. If you want to grab like some candles, some crystals, some blankies, you can feel free to do that. You can have your feet planted on the ground. And then I'm just going to put some soft music on here because I love music. Can you guys hear the music? Yeah, is the sound okay with my voice? Is it too loud or is it good? It's good, perfect. Awesome, okay. So what we'll do, and just to walk you kind of through this, we'll do like a little meditation to just ground into the space, just get you kind of grounded here in this moment. And then what we'll do is we'll get you to imagine a stage. You're gonna be just kind of like up and to the right of the stage. So you're gonna imagine the stage down below you. And on this stage, you're gonna call up that person or that object or whatever that thing is that you wanna cut the cord with. Okay? Lower the music a little bit. Okay. Is that better, Carolyn? Yeah, perfect. So then when we're on this stage, we're gonna call up the person onto the stage. We're gonna do a little bit of forgiveness. So we're gonna go through Ho'oponopono. We're gonna thank them. We're gonna take some time to think about the lessons that we learned from them. We're gonna bless them and release them. And then we're gonna grab, you can choose what you wanna use to cut this cord. You can either call in Archangel Michael. He's a really amazing one to help cut cords. He's got a big sword, so you can imagine the sword coming down and cutting that cord. So you're gonna imagine a cord, an energetic cord going from your belly button over to whoever the other person's belly button is, or if you're doing your phone or an object or anything like that, just imagine that energetic cord going toward that object. And then you're gonna then cut the cord and you're just gonna watch it fade. You're gonna watch the cord fade into the object, and then the object is just gonna fade away and get smaller and smaller and smaller until it disappears. Okay? And then we're just gonna sit there. We're gonna like share some love for the situation. We're gonna think about some more of the lessons that we've learned and really just sink into it. And then we'll come out of it, and then we can kind of open it up and share. Does anybody have any questions? No? Perfect. Okay. So we'll just close your eyes down. You can start by taking a few big deep breaths in through your nose, allowing your belly to expand, your chest to rise, and just holding that energy, that breath inside of your body for a second. And then exhale through your mouth, letting it all out. And do that a few more times. Deep breath in through your nose, allowing your belly to rise, your chest to rise, holding it up at the top, and exhaling audibly through your mouth. And as we're doing our breaths, when you exhale audibly, it actually releases more energy. So you're able to calm down and simmer into your space. Take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it at the top. And exhale through your mouth, allowing your body to know that it's safe, grounding yourself in this moment. I want you to just imagine that there's roots coming out of the bottom of your feet. And these roots are twirling and dancing deeper and deeper down into the earth, making you feel very safe and secure in this now moment. Connecting you with Mama Earth. Watch these roots go deeper and deeper, wider and wider, feeling very safe and secure. Allowing these roots to twirl and dance around these beautiful crystals down in the core of the earth, connecting right to the core. I want you to imagine that there's a beautiful white light just above your forehead, just above your crown. You have this inner knowing that this light is coming from God, from Source, from your higher power, from the universe. Whatever it is that you believe in. And this light is here to recharge you, to refuel you. I want you to allow this light to come down your crown, down the top of your head, illuminating the top of your head, and allowing it to pour over your body like a warm liquid. Bringing in protection, allowing this light to continue down your face, down your throat and your shoulders, down your chest, allowing you to sink in and relax. Moving down your right arm, past your elbow, your forearm and your hands, feeling tingling in your hand. Allowing this to flow down your left arm, down past your elbow, your forearm, all the way down to the tips of your fingers. Allowing this liquid to pour down your stomach, your abdomen, down your pelvis, down your legs, over your knees, down your shins and your calves, down your feet, going down the roots and down into the earth, protecting you in this warm blanket of love, this protection, allowing you to hold this high frequency of love within your body, allowing you to come from this space for the highest good of yourself, the highest good of the collective and all of humanity. So I want you to imagine that there's a stage just down and to the left. Just picture that stage. And I want you to allow that person or that object or that thing, I want you to just welcome it down onto the stage. I want you to visualize it. Imagine that person there. I want you to imagine the energetic cord going from your belly button all the way down into their belly button. Feeling this feeling of love, this feeling of gratitude. And when you think of this person, I want you to just bring them into your awareness, understanding that everything is always working for you, whether it's people, whether it's places, whether it's things. They're always here for our highest good, and they were sent to us as a blessing from our higher powers so that we can learn lessons, so we can grow, so we can evolve, and so we can become the highest version of ourselves. Understanding that we've been conditioned out of fear, out of hate, and that we're consciously choosing to move forward with love, to move forward with forgiveness, to move forward no longer being a victim of circumstance, but understanding that we have choice in seeing the lessons that we're being provided. So I want you to take a second to think about the lessons that you have learned from this person. Take some time to think about everything that this person has brought to your life for the positive. A lot of the time, at one point or another, this person may have been somebody close in our life, and we've just grown apart. Understanding that it's okay to go separate ways. Sometimes people come into our life for a short time. Sometimes they're here for a long time. And sometimes it's those short people that can come in and make a massive impact on our life. We want to hold on to this attachment. Yet when we can really just take the lessons, understand that it's no longer serving us, that we're ready to move on, we can begin to move forward with our life and hold our energy for ourselves so that we can recirculate it to those that mean the most to us. I'm going to thank this person. Thank them for everything that they've done or not done. So a lot of the time too, when even people don't do things, we may be mad in the moment, but we're learning lessons. We're learning how to set boundaries. Learning how to put ourselves first. I want you to just put your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your stomach. I just feel the energy in your body. What does it feel like? Is there a color? And just breathe into this feeling. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Understanding that these feelings in our body are always here to serve us. They're always here bringing awareness. A lot of the time we may not like feeling the feelings that they bring us. I need to say thank you to this feeling for bringing awareness. Thank you for bringing this awareness. Don't necessarily know what you mean all of the time, but I'm learning. I'm learning how to communicate with you. I know that you're only here out of love, out of my highest good, and out of protection, keeping me safe, keeping me comfortable. Let me just take a big deep breath in through your nose and just breathe love into this part of yourself. I'm going to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for hanging on to you for so long. And please forgive me. I want you to send love to yourself, understanding that you have always been doing the very best that you can. You're forgiving yourself and you're ready to move forward. I want you to take a big deep breath in, and as you breathe in, I want you to breathe in love. And as you exhale, I want you to exhale the fear, and I want you to see it move down your body and out into those roots and down into the earth. Breathe in love. And exhale down into the earth. I want you to continue doing this. In through your nose, breathing in love. And exhaling the fear down through your body, down through the roots and into the earth. I want you to continue doing that till the sensation is gone. And I want you to look at that other person. I want you to take a second to thank them. Go ahead in your mind, tell them exactly what they helped you with, exactly what lessons you're taking out of this situation, this experience. Thank you for teaching me. I want you to apologize. I want you to say, I'm sorry. Just apologize for anything that you want to apologize for. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth. I want you to ask for forgiveness. And they're willing and open to give it to you. They're blessing you. They're wishing you the best. I want you to send love to them. An unconditional love. Understanding that just because they may or may not be in your life all of the time now, you're cutting these energetic ties to them. Doesn't mean that we cannot have this universal love for humanity. Because love truly does heal all. I'm going to send love to them. Imagine that love going from your cord to theirs, all the way down that cord, down into their body. And imagine that bright light is going down that tube, down to them as well, serving them in their highest good. Understanding that even though we are releasing this person from our life right now, it may or may not mean that we don't want to bring them back in at some point. Or we can still have this person in our life if they're still a friend or family. Just means that we're releasing this energetic tie and we now have choice. We are taking back our power, taking back our energy, and allowing them to have theirs back as well. I'm going to just take another couple big deep breaths in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Breathing in love. And exhaling any fear down through those roots. I want you to call in Archangel Michael, or I want you to Imagine that you have some sort of device, whether it's scissors, maybe it's a chainsaw, maybe it's an axe, whatever it is that you want to get creative with. You imagine that you have this object to be able to cut this energetic cord. I just want you to say, thank you. I am so ready to let you go. Be free. I love you. And I want you to cut that cord. And as you cut that cord, I want you to see it sever and just dissolve slowly and fizzle away to that person. Then I want you to allow that person or that object to float away into the distance, getting smaller and smaller till it fades away and it's completely gone. Feeling freer and lighter. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Trying to sink in this feeling of lightness, this feeling of gratitude for this moment, this feeling of freedom. This feeling of unconditional love. This feeling of power. Understanding that you have choice to choose who comes in and out of your life at any moment. You're able to do this through love and compassion for everybody involved. And now with this extra energy that you hold within your body, you now have choice as to what you choose to do with it. Maybe you want to recirculate it to other people. Maybe you want to just continue circulating it to yourself. You have this free reign and this choice. Let me just sit for a second in this feeling. Allowing your body to just charge, to feel this love, to feel this gratitude. Feeling very safe and held and protected. Still enveloped in this beautiful white blanket. I want you to slowly pull those roots from the ground back out, allowing them to come back into your feet. Feeling safe and secure and grounded. Allowing in only the energies that are here serving your highest good. You can start wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe start swaying your body from side to side, bringing movement, bringing life back into your body, allowing your body to come wake up and back into the room. And when you're ready, I want you to open up your eyes. You can turn on your cameras. Awesome. Perfect. How's everyone feeling? Good? Yeah? Is anybody feeling any heavy energy still in them? Or is everyone feeling lighter?
I just want to share that you're magical, Laura, for the first time. Again, this is a first for me. I felt a lot of warmth around my heart. So when you said breathe in love, every time I breathed that in, it got warmer and warmer. So that's a new experience for me. And I personally, wherever you took me again, I did not want to come back because it was nice there. But anyways, thank you for that magic carpet ride.
Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, and remember, Carolyn, that this feeling that you have there, you get to bring it back, right? You get to choose and bring that back into this life form. The cool thing is we get to go there, we get to experience all of these new emotions, these new feelings, these new high frequencies, and we get to bring them back to this planet. And that's the whole thing, is we're bringing heaven on earth. So
If I could just add one more thing, because the first thing that showed up on my stage, I brought sugar. I just wanted to, in case everybody was talking about people, I brought sugar and it was big. And I thanked it for all the lessons it's taught me, how I didn't honor my chapel. And I embraced it. And for the first time ever in my 58 years, I'm okay with sugar now. So thank you for that.
So good, Carolyn. That's amazing. And so what you can do to kind of anchor that in is you can create like a new like affirmation or some sort of new action step to come out of it. So like I'm so excited to be choosing things that are healthy for my body. And you can just put that up on the wall or like whatever resonates with you, and just put it up so that you can see it, because you want to be able to anchor that in over and over and over again. So we're really reinforcing all of those neural pathways that are doing that. So everybody can kind of do that, like write some sort of like new affirmation that they're excited about whatever it was that they released. And you don't necessarily want to talk about the object or the person in that affirmation. You want to just talk about something that's like going to be coming in. Like, so if you released a person, that you can write like, I'm so excited to, now you've got this boy, like I'm so excited to bring in more abundance. Like I am so excited for the new relationships coming into my life. Or I'm so excited to bring new people who are like super loving, who are fun, and who are whatever it is that you really look for in friends. So get very specific and put that up. Does anybody else want to share?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lately I've been getting stuck with what people think of me. And I just picture it like as a square, like a pamphlet or something like that, and just like reading like people's opinions of, and I know it's just their opinion and I cannot change that, but it was just like I was just like felt so overwhelmed, but then I was like, you know what, yeah, it's fine, and just let it go. And it started to get lighter and breathing like easier, and I felt better, a lot better. So when you said do an affirmation, I was thinking something like, I thank you for thinking of me, but I do not care. Like, how would you put it?
Yeah, what I would do, Anna, would be like, what is it that you want to call in? What is it that you're looking to fill this void with? Because now we've released, and what we do is we create this energetic void that now when we ask, so we have to ask, right? God, the universe, source is always going to fill in at least similar, if not more. It will never give us less. It never will. So unless we want to have the same, we need to ask for something greater. So this is where we can get very specific. So what type of people would you love to attract into your life? So you can say like, I'm so grateful that I'm attracting in people who are loving me for who I am, people who empower me, people who support me. This is my new standard.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Right? Like just like say something like that and literally repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. And then eventually you'll start finding proof of it, because our minds are incredible. Once we give our minds something to focus on, right? It's like if I say, think about a black cat right now. Y'all are still thinking about a black cat, aren't you? Right? And then that's like your mind will literally, like, if I kept saying like you'd probably notice a black cat at some point, you know? It's like our minds are so incredible that when we give it what to focus on, it's going to start seeking it out. So it's going to start naturally seeking those people out. And it's amazing with social media, because once we get very clear on what it is that we want, we'll start noticing people in our network that maybe we hadn't even noticed before, because we were so focused and so blinded by these people that are judging us that we're like, this person is amazing and they're sitting over here, but we're like this looking at the people that are judging us. Right? So we don't even see that incredible person that's there. So as soon as we do that energetic release, we release it, and then we're like, whew, I can see again. Good night, Victoria. And then all of a sudden we're like, okay, like now we can actually see again. Now, what is it that I want? And then you're like, okay, this is what I want, and I'm only looking for that. And then our minds will literally search it out.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
I have something to share.
Yeah, go for it, Christine.
It's not really about what I just meditated on and released and let go of and cut cords on. It's more of, I want to thank you, Laura, for coming into my life. And I know me and you have been saying this back to back, back and forth a lot lately, but tonight is another reminder. I did let go of certain emotions and other people several months ago. And I was calling in more people who are genuine, kind-hearted, uplifting, and all that good stuff. And you were one of those people that came through. And I'm like crying right now, because even though I don't have friends that I get to see on a daily basis anymore, I don't have like a group of girlfriends. Like, you're part of the very few that have come into my life recently, that even though we have a relationship that's, we're always using video chat and texting and stuff like that, phone calls, it's the most real human connection I've had in my 28 years of living, like, with friends. Like, I've never had real people in my life until now, until I made space. And I think I can continue to still make space, because I still have a lot of other connections to let go of. And if the universe already gave me you, I'm just so excited to whoever else comes through. And I'm sorry, I'm just like very emotional. It's just, I'm getting proof, it's true. The more you let go of that's not good for you, the more you make space within for possibilities that you can't even imagine. Like, there are really good people out there, and you're one of them, and I love you.
Oh, thank you so much, Christine. It's so powerful, like we just have to ask, and we have to be patient and wait and like be open. It's like, we'll have these things come into our life, but it was like, you were the one that said yes, right? Like, that's the thing, is we can put ourselves out there, but unless we're willing to receive, then like, it's like, oh, it just like, it lights me up so much, because a lot of you guys probably don't know this, but like, even when I was at the park with Vic, and like, that was one of the big things that I said, like, Jen and I only met for the first time last February. We met for very briefly at a business event, and it was literally just a quick hello, and that was it. And then in May, I was coming up to Ottawa to visit a friend of mine, and it wasn't Jen, but we had been doing webinars for Isogenics every single week for probably like 2 or 3 months at the beginning of COVID. And so we just started building a relationship just from doing these webinars. And then when it came time I was going to come up to Ottawa, she just randomly had this call to come drive 3.5 hours to pick me up. And so she came, and that's how I met Jen. And everybody on this group has basically came into my life this past year. And I say 2020 was the biggest blessing of my life because it brought me my people. And like, it's like crazy because I never had this in my life either. You know, it's like, that's why I said, like, I literally am living my dreams now because of the quality of people that I have in my life. And it's like, just be patient, because even though they're online right now, you are going to attract them. Like, you're going to be noticing them everywhere. I never thought people like this existed. Now they're freaking everywhere. It's like, I can't get rid of them. They're just coming at me, you know? It's like amazing, right? But it's like, it's really powerful, and it's just proof of the law of attraction. And once you harness that energy, it's literally unstoppable. And that's like, we're going to just keep bringing more and more people together. And as we continue to do that, think about how the world is going to shift, right? But thank you so much for sharing all of that, Christine. You're honestly, like, you're such a bright light. And thank you for saying yes to you. Thank you for saying yes to coming into this beautiful community. And we're just really excited to see it grow. This was our whole vision for Together We Rise. When Jen and I created it, was we just both had this vision of like just bringing people together in the space where we could just feel safe and open up and be vulnerable and just learn and grow and heal together. And we're just really excited that everybody is here. So thank you so much, Christine.
You're welcome. Vulnerability feels so good for the first time ever. Like, it feels good. I'm not scared of it. It's because I know good comes from it.
It's beautiful when you can start having that outlook, because it truly does. Opening up, you've got to open up those wounds in order to allow love in, right? We're so closed off. We keep everything so tight and so closed because we're afraid of being hurt again. But it's like, truly, like, when you can do it in safe spaces like this and just slowly open up more and more and more and hear other people opening up, the growth you'll have over such a short period of time is like incredible. It's amazing. And you're going to start attracting these people in your everyday life. And next thing you know, you're going to have a whole friend circle, and it's literally going to be incredible. And once we're allowed out of COVID, like, we're all going to get together and have events too. So it doesn't really matter how far we are. Like, we can connect.
Retreats.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do them. Yeah.
Okay. Passing the mic on to somebody else.
Laura, I'll piggyback on what you just said to Christine. I didn't know anybody here, Laura, Jen, anybody. Well, Jen I knew of because I mentored with her dad. A year ago, I didn't know anybody. And I've been looking for a tribe, a community for so many years. And my mentor, he died, which was Jen's dad, in 2018. And I always said to him, where are these people you talk about, these like-minded souls? And he'd say, they're out there, Carolyn. And I'd say, you don't know what you're fucking talking about, because I'm not finding these fucking people, right? And then I joined Isogenics through Jen, and then I was like a stalker of Laura on Isogenics. And anyways, so 1 year later, I'm my 1 year anniversary with knowing all these people here, and I've met Anna and everybody, Cassandra. I've never really met them in person except Laura and Christine. I found family. I never thought I'd find family in strangers, but the people I've met along the way, and including everybody here, has a place in my heart, and they have become what I term as my soul family, and that fills my soul. So we're here, and where Laura said they're out there, once you open up, they're fucking everywhere, girl. I'm telling you. So just take it a day at a time, love, and I promise you'll be okay.
Thank you for those kind words. It's really warming to me. And I'm very confident in this path I'm on, and very confident that the right people are slowly coming into my life. And there's no rush, because timing, it's, you know, you can't rush something that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so good. Does anybody else want to share? No? Perfect. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here once again. Together we rise, baby. And we'll see you guys next week. I'm not too sure what we'll be doing next week, but it'll be something good. So Jen and I usually chat about it on Sundays, and then we'll have the tile and everything posted on Monday. Amazing. Okay, bye. Love you all so much. And if you guys have any questions, if anything came up that you didn't quite want to share and you want to message me personally to talk about anything that came up, please feel free to do that. Okay. Bye. Love you.